Good morning. This is Today with Matthew Price and Michelle Hussein. And the first night of the Proms tomorrow night will include the premiere of a new work commissioned to mark the centenary of the First World War. 5 telegrams by the composer Anna Meredith draws on messages sent by young soldiers in 1918. Well, Anna Meredith is with us in the studio alongside Roxanna Panufnik, who's also composed a new work for the Proms, in her case for the last night of the Proms. And it's again commemorating the Great War, and it's called Songs of Darkness, Dreams of Light. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Roxanna, tell us both tell us first about your piece.
It's I had a very detailed brief from the Proms. They wanted something that would commemorate the World War I end centenary, but also look positively and optimistically to the future. So, and it's for 2 choirs, the BBC Singers, and they have a poem by World War I poet Isaac Rosenberg, who is an Ashkenazi Jewish poet. And it's an incredible poem. It's called In the Underworld, and it was actually written before World War I, just before. And but if you read it, you'd think it was describing what it was like in the trenches. He talks about terrible darkness or breathing breath impure. And I've used a very lovely Ashkenazi Jewish mode for that. And then that's married with the BBC Symphony Chorus, who sings some beautiful lines from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And those lines seem to sort of soothe and assuage the fears of the Rosenberg.
And Anna Meredith, your piece, which we heard a little bit of earlier on, again, your brief was also to do with the First World War, but you chose as your inspiration those letters. I mean, the works by female composers, Roxanna, there's been a big effort now on the part of the Proms to get the work of more female composers heard. How helpful has that been to you?
Well, I think the great thing about it is the visibility, because, female composers have been around all the time, but just not had that visibility. It's so important. And the Proms is one of the sort of best publicised and best broadcast and widest broadcast festivals. So it's fantastic for us.
Do you feel that change? Because fair to say that you've had a few more years in the business, as it were, if I can call it that, than Anna. I just wonder how much of a change you've seen.
Well, I think, there's definitely, in terms of visibility, female composers are much more visible now. And I do feel it's an equal playing field now. But I have to say that when I was starting out, like 25 years ago, I found being female was a help because you really stood out from the crowd.
Anna Meredith, how does it feel to you now?
I think it's great, and the Proms have signed up to this scheme, which is encouraging 50% of commissions to be from female composers, and I think that's a really positive step to celebrating there's some amazing female composers out there, and I think it's brilliant that we're seeing so much great music being played. Okay,
so we'll hear your work tonight at the Curtain Raiser and tomorrow at the first night, and Roxanna, yours at the end of the season. Thank you both, Anna Meredith and Roxanna Panufnik.
Thank you.